Hello, crypto pioneers. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Thinking Crypto channel. Please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment below and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Guys, last night, Bitcoin blasted through $18,000. I was up late refreshing my phone, just like, wow, are we going to 19,000? But we had a correction. Right now, Bitcoin's sitting at 17,589. This is healthy. You will have corrections on the way up. Nothing goes up in a straight line. Remember that. But we are very close to 20,000. We could see 20,000 by this weekend. I'm not saying that's a certainty. It's a high probability though. So maybe it happens this weekend. Maybe it happens next week around Thanksgiving. Let's see. However, we know for sure that we are going to break through the old all-time highs for Bitcoin. And I believe alt season, when that comes, we'll see some really, really great movements for altcoins. So the market is looking very bullish. We have lots of ways to go when you look at the stock to flow model, which is looking at a $80,000 to $100,000 Bitcoin price. So just imagine that and what the alts are going to be following that, right? And mass FOMO is around the corner where the masses are going to jump in again like they did in 2017. Now, just to give you some context of the crypto market's performance, and you look at it year to date from compared to other assets, and this was shared by Kraken Exchange, Bitcoin up 150% year to date, NASDAQ 33%, gold 25%, S&P 14%, US 10-year Treasury 13%, the dollar index negative 4%, crude oil negative 34%. So it's no wonder Paul Tudor Jones called Bitcoin and crypto the fastest horse in the race, and that is why we're seeing all of these billionaires, the wealthy individuals, the hedge fund managers are all putting their money into crypto. We've been seeing a flurry of billionaires coming out and saying, invest in Bitcoin, put your money in Bitcoin. I have Bitcoin, I have money in Bitcoin, right? So it's happening, folks. All the institutional wealthy folks are jumping in. And once we hit, I think, past the old all-time high, we'll probably start seeing some mass FOMO coming in. Now, Jamie Dimon up to his old tricks again. More smoke and mirrors moves. Remember what he did in 2017. Said Bitcoin is a scam, a fraud. Don't talk to me about it. About a year later, we hear they're building a coin, their own coin, JPM coin, right? So he's telling the masses to ignore Bitcoin so he can probably try to get them to use JP Morgan's coin. However, we also have noticed, and there's folks who noticed that JP Morgan has been accumulating Bitcoin and crypto. Even their analysts this year started putting out positive news and reports about Bitcoin and crypto, saying it has the ability to survive, saying it has long-term upside. It's the new gold, store of value, etc., right? But Jamie Dimon still has to hold his respective stance of, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin, it's not my cup of tea, blah, blah, blah. He was interviewed on CNBC. So let me give you the details here. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon said blockchain will have a pivotal role in the future of finance, even if Bitcoin, the market-leading cryptocurrency that made blockchain famous, is not his cup of tea. Now, this is in direct contrast to what Brian Brooks at the OCC said recently, that you can't have blockchain without crypto, because the way things have been set up is there's some token attached to the network that moves value on the network and gives the network value, right? So he's also in a position, guys. Look, I understand his position. If he comes out and says, I love Bitcoin, invest in Bitcoin, that's going to hurt his bank, right? And the banking industry as a whole. Because we saw Warren Buffett just recently dump more JP Morgan stocks. He dumped Wells Fargo stocks and some others. So Warren Buffett knows something's up. And once again, this guy, Jamie Dimon, it's going to be hard for him to say that. And he's going to try to put FUD out there. But we know they've been accumulating. We know they are now offering banking services to crypto exchanges, Coinbase and Gemini. That was revealed this year. So I understand his position. But he's a guy you can't trust. And we've seen that already, right? I just gave an example of the JPM coin thing. He's part of the crowd that goes out and puts a narrative to the masses, but does the opposite, right? And that's how a lot of these guys build their wealth and maintain their wealth. They go on TV, they say, hey, do this and do this, but they do the opposite. And I was sharing examples of Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank who did that. obviously Jamie Dimon and many others. So that's why you have to be well researched and understand market cycles, understand what's happening behind the scenes. A lot of the average Joe and Jills don't have time to do that, and they miss it. They just see Jamie Dimon on TV saying, hey, it's not, Bitcoin is not great, don't invest in it, right? And they're like, oh my God, he's a smart guy. He's CEO of JP Morgan. I'm going to listen to him, right? But that's the mistake a lot of folks make. Don't just listen to take his word as gospel. You have to go do your own research and understand what's taking place. So guys, he's not saying it's a scam, but he's, positioning it as, I don't care. Like, it's not my cup of tea, whatever, right? But we know his analysts, the people working there, do care about making money. So I guarantee you they're buying up and they're going to be selling it back to their clients. And what we've seen too, this article kind of highlights it well. Bitcoin soars skyward as fund managers are panic buying to keep up with Paul Tudor Jones. This is absolutely correct, right? Paul Tudor Jones put up the green flag earlier this year saying he's putting 2% of all his assets, and he's a billionaire, into Bitcoin. He said is the fastest horse in the race. And a lot of hedge fund managers and investment firms follow suit, right? And we saw just recently a flurry of billionaires coming out saying, hey, we've got Bitcoin and we're investing in Bitcoin. So the market is really pumping from institutional players and hedge fund managers and so forth, not from mass FOMO like we saw in 2017. However, I do believe retail mass FOMO is coming, once we break the all-time highs. So stay tuned for that, right? And remember, a lot of these folks are going to be selling this back to the masses. Yesterday in a video, we covered that a wealth advisor here, $29 billion wealth advisor, they are going to be offering crypto to their 23,000 clients, right? Saying, hey, you want to put some of your money in Bitcoin and crypto? Here we go. So that's a big on-ramp. And you can imagine the likes of a Vanguard and ING and the others and Charles Schwab, they're going to be doing the same. So we are early, right? We are on the side of smart money, buying the lows, and we're going to sell the highs. So pat yourself on the back, on the shoulder, because you did a good job if you're here and you bought the lows, you bought the dips, right? Because higher prices are certainly coming. And what we're seeing, and I shared it an example just earlier this week of Macy Williams, an actress from Game of Thrones, who was talking about Bitcoin. She tweeted about Bitcoin, saying she bought Bitcoin. Well, Ricki Lake, I don't know how many of you remember her. She was a talk show host in the 90s into the early 2000s, and she's into Bitcoin. She's been tweeting nonstop about Bitcoin, right? So we're seeing celebrities and people who have nothing to do with crypto are jumping in. So why is this important? It's because many of these folks have huge followings. They're influencers. And if people trust them and they start talking about Bitcoin and crypto, you guys know what's next. They're going to be open to it. They're going to trust it more. They're going to start doing their research. That's how it starts. The social spread, the marketing, right? The conversation, guys. This is what you want to see. And we are in once again, the lucky position that we already know about it. We've already studied. We've filled our bags, right? Buying the dips, and we are waiting for moon time. And finally, guys, this is some very bullish news for Ethereum. You all know I hold Ethereum in my portfolio. I've talked about Ethereum going to proof of stake and the ability to stake and earn interest, essentially just having 32 ETH. Well, a Dubai investment firm is staking $10 million worth of ETH to support the ETH2 launch. Wow, that's big. So guys, Ethereum is going to be big. It's going to be big. A lot of its problems are going to be solved by moving to proof of stake and the upgrades and all of that. And I think a lot of enterprises are going to be using the Ethereum blockchain, given the smart contract technology. Now, different use cases, right? There's going to be the Ethereum maximalists are going to come in and see, you don't need Bitcoin. See, you don't need XRP. Different use cases. It just like you have a Google, you have an Amazon, you have a Netflix, you have an eBay, different companies all on the internet, right? Sure, they may compete with each other in some ways, right? From a stock perspective or whatever, but they serve different needs. So same way you have to look at the cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is digital gold. I have it in there. Ethereum is smart contract technology. XRP, bridge asset for cross-border payments. And even XRP and Ethereum are building bridges, right? We've talked ad nauseum about that. So IBC Group, a Dubai-based boutique investment firm, is staking $10 million worth of Ether to support the Ethereum 2.0 launch. The firm has partnered with Canada-based staking service CanETH for the initiative. Specifically, IBC will stake a total of 21,984 ETH in 3 tranches for 687 validators. Karam Shroff, chairman of IBC's board, said the firm is very excited for ETH2, i.e. when the network transitions from a proof of work system to a proof of stake mechanism. The ETH lockup shows our confidence in Ethereum 2 and the dedication to the beacon chain, said Shroff. So when I tell you Ethereum is going to be a winner, yeah, when the dust settles, right? When all the other shit coins and so forth, the ones that don't actually have a use case or utility or anyone backing them, just fall off to the side, ETH will still be one around because it actually is solving a problem. It's getting adoption, big backers, as you can see here, right? So guys, I always recommend diversifying. Obviously not investment advice. I diversify because I understand, look, there's a risk. If you just put all your eggs in one basket, what if the one thing you're investing in fails? What if something happens? We don't know, right? But that element of risk means you should diversify. So, XRP is my number 1, Bitcoin my number 2, and Ethereum is my number 3. And I have some others like VeChain and Chainlink and so forth. So guys, what do you think about this news and this Jamie Dimon news, right? He's still kind of like trying to position himself like he doesn't care about Bitcoin, but we know the bank has been putting out the opposite of what he's saying, and we know they're all in now. And I even shared this meme, right? Jamie Dimon, Ray Dalio, Peter Schiff, and Jim Rogers within the next 1 to 2 years, they're going to be begging for Bitcoins unless, once again, smoke and mirrors move on their part, right? Just saying, oh, Bitcoin's crap, whatever, I don't care, I don't get it, blah, blah, blah. And yet they might be accumulating. That's the smoke and mirrors move we've seen with a lot of wealthy individuals. So that could be the case. Anyway, guys, what do you think? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Please leave a comment. I want to hear from you guys. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you all later.